Hello, it's great to have you back for another edition of When in Vietnam. In this episode, it's all about nourishing your foodie souls. We meet a young entrepreneur who combines her Parisian upbringing and Vietnamese heritage to create uniquely Vietnamese chocolate with its unique tagline, chocolate for everyone. And later on, during the difficult time when most international borders were closed due to COVID-19, a group of artists across the globe exchanged and promoted their country's cuisine using paintbrushes and paper. And of course, with the wonderful food culture in Vietnam and a strong appreciation for food art, local illustration artists have introduced Vietnamese cuisine to the world via their artworks. Let's first meet our host so we can start this exciting journey.
Everyone, xin chào tất cả mọi người. I am Mikachu. I am an MC content creator in Ho Chi Minh City. I am Russian French, and my life took a drastic turning point the day I decided to learn Tiếng Việt. Indeed, it helped me to understand better about the culture, the people, and simply enjoy better the Vietnamese food. And can you believe it? I've been living here for more than 6 years. During my time here, I have witnessed a lot of changes. And if there is one thing that I learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, is that Ho Chi Minh City has the strength to overcome all obstacles to become even more attractive than before. If you're looking for fun and excitement, this is the right place to be. In this series of When in Vietnam, you are going to discover what the city has to offer. So let's go.
Vietnam is home to several regions perfect for growing cocoa beans, with each region's unique terroir serving distinctive flavors. However, a fact little known to most Vietnamese is that a significant part of the cacao is used locally to manufacture chocolate or cacao mass.
It was recognized by the International Chocolate Association as a fine flavor cacao. Vietnam is one of a few countries in the world that's recognized as producing fine flavor cacao.
Việt Nam là một nước sản xuất sô-cô-la xuất khẩu rất là nhiều, thì mình rất là vui là có những cái cửa hàng mà bán trực tiếp cho người tiêu dùng ở Việt Nam. Nếu mà so về mặt chất lượng thì mình cũng chất lượng là cực kỳ tốt rồi, đúng không? Tại vì cái nguồn nguyên liệu của mình là cũng được dùng ở những cái nước khác.
Over the years, Vietnam is also becoming a place for small enterprises to create a diversity of chocolate for domestic consumers. As a result, there is an opportunity for Vietnam to become a medium-sized player in the cacao world.
What I see is very different here. It's the creativity of a different mix that they bring to chocolates.
The chocolate market in Vietnam is still young, but things are changing, and the next few years are expected to be very exciting for the industry. Many new brands are flourishing, nurtured by passionate people. Consequently, Vietnamese chocolate has an opportunity to become a niche player in the home market.
In today's Greet and Meet, we're going to talk to a French Vietnamese lady that has dedicated her life to make chocolate for everyone, to develop a culture of chocolate in Vietnam. Here is chocolat cho mọi người. Hello, Canleen, ça va? Hello, why I say hello everyone? Hello everyone, hello Canleen. I was wondering to ask you a little question about this place, chocolat cho mọi người. Every time I come, I see you have a cocoa tree. How do you succeed to have a cocoa tree in the middle of the city?
It's a great question because it's the first thing that people see when they enter. So we brought this tree from Benche province where a lot of our cacao is harvested. It took a lot of help and of people to give us advice about how to take care of the tree. And actually, when it arrived at the beginning, we were very worried. It started losing its leaves.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was so stressed about this. But luckily, after this, the tree started to pick up again. So.
And it has survived.
Yes.
And it's still here, still beautiful. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. I think you guys are very curious to see how chocolate cho mọi người looks from inside. So we should go and explore. Is that
Please
okay?
be my guest.
Yes.
The Cacao Project. Chocolate for everyone. It started with a chocolate spirit. From the Vietnamese cocoa beans to proudly made in Vietnam chocolate. But what makes the Cocoa Project different from other local chocolate brands? Instead of promoting Vietnamese chocolate worldwide, the Cocoa Project focuses on creating a chocolate culture here in this country. And it's no surprise that the one behind this inspiring F&B experience is a young French Vietnamese. Like so many young, thriving, and successful overseas Vietnamese before her, Linh found herself on a one-way flight to Vietnam. Needless to say, that's where her journey to unlock the full potential of the Vietnamese cacao from beans to bars begins. It's a quest that combines Nguyen Ling's Parisian upbringing and Vietnamese heritage to create chocolate that's uniquely Vietnamese.
Thank you for welcoming us at Cocoa Project.
My pleasure.
Chocolate cho mọi người.
Chocolate for the people.
Exactly. Kalin, I was wondering, why have you left everything behind in France to come in Vietnam?
Well, Vietnam is a country of opportunities and it's so dynamic, and I really wanted to have an experience in a foreign country for me, outside France. And actually I have Vietnamese origins, so it was also an opportunity for me to reconnect with my roots, the country of my parents, get to learn Vietnamese.
That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met actually.
Yeah. And where does your love from chocolate comes from?
I could say it comes from childhood, as it is for many French children. But in reality, once I was sitting on the parking lot, and actually I arrived and it smelled so strongly like hot chocolate. And so I realized, okay, actually I want to work in that environment where every day I can feel or taste or smell chocolate. Yeah.
Wow, and can you introduce us a little bit more about Cocoa Project?
It all started with an encounter. After I had this dream of working in chocolate, I met someone, Grisha, who told me that he was working in the chocolate industry for 30 years. We met in a bus in Dalat, and he told me that he worked in chocolates. And then I thought, okay, maybe that's my calling, maybe that's finally my chance to do something that I'm truly passionate about. At the beginning, the idea was to start a chocolate museum. So we wanted to create a museum about chocolate and explain to people, this is how you grow cacao to make chocolate. This is why the chocolate in Vietnam is so special. And little by little, our project evolved with the opportunity. And finally, it became what it is today, which is a project that is more an F&B project oriented towards the locals.
Just opened in March 2022, the Cocoa Project, a bean-to-bar chocolatier and cafe, has been building a word-of-mouth reputation amongst Ho Chi Minh City residents as the place for chocolate lovers.
I came to the party at midnight, out on the countryside. The moon was full and was shining bright.
As its tagline says, chocolate for the people, the Cocoa Project is creating chocolate products meant to appeal to the Vietnamese palate. Locally sourced ingredients from Vietnam are prioritized, featuring quality local herbs, spices, and fruits.
You hit me like a meteorite.
It's rare to find some diversity of chocolate in Vietnam, and I think like Cocoa Project is giving something new to the market. And we're trying new things here. Like I've tried something I've never tried before here. It's like they're mixing up chocolate and passion fruits, mango. It's something like you usually find anywhere else.
Ở đây thì sản phẩm các bạn có cái cơ hội để bạn tạo ra những công thức sáng tạo hơn. Mỗi một cái thanh sô cô la nó có một cái nguồn gốc khác nhau cũng như là cái độ đậm đặc về sô cô la khác nhau. Thì mình rất là thích những cái loại đến từ những cái vùng đặc biệt như là Tiền Giang hoặc Bến Tre.
The flavor for sure, but actually it's the way they're using it as well. We were talking about the world project as well. They're trying to outsource everything, and they're processing everything by themselves. And this is what is the biggest added value of Cocoa Project.
Chocolate is no longer a luxury item only for the sophisticated. Instead, it's locally inspired and entices Vietnamese to sample this trending chocolate.
Which challenges you guys had to overcome when doing this project?
Well, many, I would say. It's an ongoing challenge of adapting to the Vietnamese customer because in Vietnam we still have to create a culture of chocolate. So it's not like people are used here to having chocolate every day. They are more used to having maybe a coffee every day or like a café cheddar. Many kinds of coffee. But actually for chocolate they're like, Milo, choco pie. So there isn't an everyday culture of enjoying chocolate, which is what we try to create here.
So how do you create this culture for chocolate for Vietnamese people?
Well, it's an ongoing research. So actually, I would consider that here is our lab where we test something, we test our ideas, and then we see how the customer react to it. So sometimes, for example, when we launched this tablet, so we were not sure about the perfect flavor. Everyone in the team had different tastes, and so what we did is we put it here, different pieces of chocolate, and people had to taste and vote.
Yeah. And what about the Vietnamese ingredients, the local ingredients you use in your chocolate and pastries and drinks?
So what we do here is to promote the Vietnamese chocolate. So chocolate in the world is mostly made from African cacao beans, but here the particularity of our chocolate is that it's made from Vietnamese cacao and it's transformed into chocolate in Vietnam. So your chocolate here is 100% Vietnamese. To complement that local aspect of the ingredients, we want to promote other iconic Vietnamese ingredients. So for example, I mentioned the Mac before. So Mac is the mountain pepper. Our other one is the coconut from Bến Tre. So rather than making something with ingredients like, let's say, cherries that are from Australia or Europe, we prefer to promote Vietnamese tropical fruit like mango, passion, or we want to promote the cashew nut, so we have a chocolate-coated cashew nut.
My favorite.
Me too.
Yes.
So that's what we want to do. We want to promote the quality of Vietnamese ingredients and how they blend well with chocolate.
And they blend very well. Since you were holding the packaging of the chocolate, can you tell us a little bit more about the story behind this beautiful packaging?
Our tagline is chocolate for the people, chocolatier mọi người. So the starting point was we wanted to pay a tribute to the people or to the Vietnamese people, to their way of living. So this is why, for example, on these tablets, you have pictures of people in the street, like the very recognizable motorbike with people carrying very random things. So we wanted to pay a tribute to the Vietnamese way of life and in different ways. So each tablet has a separate message.
The brand is also set on raising collective awareness about the importance of choosing a good chocolate and a chocolate for good. But most importantly, a chocolate choice that is respectful of the farmers and everyone involved in the value chain. In pursuit of her career in chocolate, Hoang Linh caught a lucky break when she bumped into Gritcha, a longtime Vietnamese expatriate. By good fortune, Gritcha has 3 decades of experience as a chocolate entrepreneur in Belgium. Gritcha is also the founder of the Cacao Trace Program, a global sustainable cacao sourcing program. After chatting and exchanging ideas, the two bonded over their mutual interest in chocolate and passion for championing a new wave of chocolate products tailored to the Vietnamese market.
Also, I know you're very sensitive to the sustainable question of your business. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
So there are two main dimensions. First, the local sourcing of ingredients. So of course it's less carbon intensive to produce something locally from locally harvested ingredients, transform here for a local market, rather than buying a chocolate that has been traveling all around the world from Africa to Malaysia to Europe, then back to Vietnam. So first it's about making local choices that are more sustainable, also to support the local industry, the local economy and the agriculture. Second is about the design of the space. So it's more in the design of how we chose to renovate and rehabilitate something existing rather than scrap and build from scratch. So it's more about promoting something that exists already. In our packaging, we also choose some printing methods that are less chemical.
I don't know if you're eager to share with us some future projects of Project Cacao.
We want to promote more healthy habits. We try to avoid being too sweet. We want to bring chocolate under a new light. So we want people to think that chocolate is not only about your regular Kit Kat or other typical products that you can find in the supermarket. Chocolate can be something different.
I think you're doing a great job here. Thank you so much, Canlin, for receiving us today. I wish you a lot of success, and I will come very soon for the lunch options, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
What if we make products using the chocolate made in Vietnam to show our respect to the local farmers? And what if our chocolate creations are adapted to suit local tastes so they can be shared more widely?
I would say opportunity. So here in Vietnam, it's much more flexible. People are willing to try new things. I think that's why you see interesting new concepts popping up, with people feeling more daring to experiment their crazy idea. I mean, at first it was very crazy as an idea to think, oh, okay, we're going to do like a chocolate museum. But in Vietnam, somehow, things seem possible. So, and people will be willing to give it a try, be it your customer or your team members. Like, this place wouldn't be what it is today if there were not like a team of passionate individuals who are willing to give it a chance. So I would say a world of opportunity. Be passionate about it, something that you are really willing to give your all for, because it is something that takes a lot of energy and effort. And I would say, most importantly, choose a great team member that you can trust and that can grow with you and your business.
Since May 2021, the hashtag Food Art Monthly has spread all over Instagram, creating an impromptu database of dishes representing the world's cuisines, including delicacies from Vietnam. The hashtag is essentially a monthly food illustration challenge initiated by a group of about a dozen artists from all over the globe. It's drawn the attention of food illustrators throughout the social network, and food lovers in Vietnam are no exception. One of the host artists of Food Art Monthly is an English teacher living in Ho Chi Minh City.
Mình là Phân, thì bây giờ mình đang là một giáo viên tiếng Anh, và cái việc vẽ là mình coi như là một cái sở thích của mình. Theo mình thấy thì cái việc chụp ảnh hay là quay video về thức ăn á, thì cái chủ thể trong cái tác phẩm đó nó vẫn là đồ thật. Tức là nó không có khác gì so với mình thấy cái món ăn đó bên ngoài. Nhưng vẽ thì là mình đang dùng một cái chất liệu khác để thể hiện cái món ăn lên trên tờ giấy. Nên ấy là nhìn có vẻ thật nhưng nó lại không phải thật. Nên mình cảm thấy là cái cách thể hiện đồ ăn này thì nó sẽ mang đến cho cái người nhìn đó cái cảm giác mới lạ, độc đáo hơn.
The host artists propose a theme every month and call on Instagram's art community to join them in creating food art. For each topic, participants are asked to illustrate a typical dish of their country or the country they are living in.
Mình để ý là những cái nước như là trong khu vực châu Á như Thái Lan hay Sing nè, thì mấy bạn đó đôi lúc cũng sẽ thấy được quen, là tại vì những cái nguyên liệu mình làm cái món Việt đó cũng sẽ có trong cái nền ẩm thực của họ. Nhưng ngược lại những cái bạn mà từ mấy cái nước mà xa châu Á nha, xa Việt Nam đó, thì họ sẽ cảm thấy rất là lạ với một số món ăn của Việt. Nhưng mà họ cũng có thể hiện cái thái độ đó là nếu có cơ hội đi du lịch Việt Nam thì họ cũng muốn thử cái món này, tại vì nó lạ quá.
Food Art Monthly was sparked by Pavan Kapoor, an Indonesian artist of Indian origin who had the idea to introduce cuisines from countries around the world and build a community of culinary artists on Instagram.
I enjoy cooking and I started loving to paint food as well. The food is a perfect example of how much diversity there is and cultural diversity there is, and how to showcase your cultural diversity. I love Vietnamese food. I love the pho. Illustrations which I see are quite good, and it makes me want to eat more Vietnamese food. It makes my mouth water.
Đồ ăn Việt Nam nó rất là nhiều rau, hầu như món nào cũng có cả. Và thì rau lên chanh nó sẽ là xanh lá. Đồ ăn của mình thì thường nó sẽ có màu vàng và màu nâu. Và những cái chén của mình thường giống như mấy cái chén mà nó hay có những cái họa tiết á, thì mình sẽ hay dùng màu đỏ hay là màu xanh dương để vẽ. Thì mình nghĩ là do tập hợp những cái gam màu chính á, thì khi lên tranh nó sẽ hài hòa với đẹp mắt hơn.
Then they will send it to Kylene Falls, an American illustrator based in Tokyo. Since launching, Food Art Monthly has explored several topics, including the amazing food of many different countries.
So I think food illustration, first of all, it really combines two very passionate communities, the food community and the art community. And at the same time, it lets the artists that are creating the foods have a lot more deep feelings towards the foods that they are presenting in their artwork. Personally, when I create food illustrations, I find I create a lot more deeper memories with each piece, rather than just going to a restaurant and taking a photo of the food.
Hơn 1 năm rồi mình tham gia thì mình thấy cái việc đầu tiên mà mình nhận được đó là cái thời gian mình vẽ nó nhiều hơn. Vì mỗi tháng mình đều phải có tranh để đăng lên. Thì chính vì thời gian vẽ nhiều nên cái kỹ năng vẽ của mình nó cũng tiến bộ hơn. Cái thứ hai là mình có cái cơ hội mà quen được với nhiều bạn artist, mà những cái artist nhiều người biết mà đó giờ mình chỉ theo dõi tác phẩm của họ trên mạng xã hội thôi. Thì bây giờ mình có thể thảo luận với họ, nói chuyện với họ hơn. Thì nó cũng là một niềm vinh dự. Và cái cuối cùng mình thấy là cái mình nhận được nhiều nhất á, là tác phẩm tranh của mình cũng như cái ẩm thực Việt Nam nó được nhiều người biết đến hơn. Và mai mốt giống như là có rất là nhiều bạn nhìn cái tranh đó là biết ngay là mình vẽ, tại vì nó là món Việt, với lại cái nét vẽ giống như là đặc trưng của mình đó.
Local artists have made the most of this project to promote Vietnam's culture more widely, especially its unique cuisine. The Food Art Monthly has been running throughout 2022. However, the creators hope to maintain this as an ongoing challenge so that more food cultures can be connected. The challenge has shown how diverse the cuisines of different countries are, and at the same time, how much they have in common. And that also wraps up this foodie edition of When in Vietnam. We hope you had a great time learning more about how Vietnam can burnish its reputation as a cocoa and chocolate country, and how local artists champion Vietnam's wonderful food culture using paintbrushes and paper. When in Vietnam, we'll be back with more cultural stories. Until next time, bye for now.
I will introduce you to a French Vietnamese lady that has dedicated her life to make chocolate,